Brothers and sisters, we had two readings today. The first one was Sunday, the reading about the cross, because today is a Sunday before the Feast of the Holy Cross, which is coming up this week. But I'd like to talk about the second reading, which is the sequential Sunday reading. Actually, one of my favorite stories, the story of the Canaanite woman, how she pleaded with Christ to free her daughter from the demon that was tormenting the daughter, right? Now, I love that story because it illustrates a whole host of things. It illustrates the church, how the church operates. Look, she asks him, she prays to the Lord. Then she asks the apostles, that's the church, and they come and they plead with him. So it's a process, it's all necessary. It's all necessary for us psychologically. The Lord allows all of this to happen and for them to come up and to ask on her behalf, and then she comes up to him again, and then he tests her in a, oh wow, what a test of humility, because he says, I'm sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. He said that to the apostles. When she came up and pleaded with him, he said, it's not good to take bread from the children and throw it to the dogs. And she said, yes, Master. But even the dogs eat from the crumbs that fall of the Master's table. And then the Lord, for all generations, he praised her and said, O woman, great is your faith. And the miracle happened. It happened because she had that humility. Humility drives out demons. Yes, indeed, because the only way, the only door to our heart for the demons is pride, our pride. And their pride can manifest itself in various ways. Now, so this is why in the Octoicus, somewhere it says, I have not a daughter, but my flesh that is tormented by the demon. Indeed. And by flesh, the Holy Fathers speak of our whole sort of fallen human nature, not just, our physiology. I want to give you an example today. One illustration about one type of possession. Anger. Right? Now, anger can be a creative and very, very useful energy, and the Lord himself gets angry. But when he is angry, he keeps loving the person that he's angry with. We can do that, we're not sinning. But how often does our anger come with a really, really awful feeling towards that person? And anger can be of two types, as the psychologists say. Externalized and internalized. Now, internalized anger is probably worse than externalized, because the externalized anger just blasts out of the person, out of us, and it settles. Doesn't mean that it's a good thing that we should allow ourselves to do this all the time, because when you do that, it keeps growing. The passion grows. If you feed that passion. Not that you let it out. Yeah, you feel some comfort temporarily, but then it's going to get bigger. But internalizing it is even worse, because it's remembering wrongs, it's dwelling on it, it's keeping it up, keeping it alive, keeping it on the front burner. And some people, and the worst thing is this, that people who feel angry like that, hurt, offended, they feel justified in their anger. They feel, I'm lawfully angry, I'm lawfully offended, I have a reason for this. And you know, in 37 years of my pastoral practice, how many people I've seen that, you plead with them and they won't let go of this. And it often takes an illness, before they die to get it out of them, so that they come to a state of peace, forgiveness, peaceful love. In the Slavic languages, the word for humility is a good word, because the root of that word is peace. Smirenia, mir. Mir is peace. See? My peace I give to you. So this is the peace that comes with humility, because humility drives out the demons from our hearts. The demons that play with us like, puppet on the string. So, brothers and sisters, we have to understand the dynamics of these forces that are spiritual in origin, and they cascade down into our psychological life. They poison our life, the life of our families, and all around us. We carry this. We have no peace. Okay? No peace. So let's look for humility. Now, just a couple of days ago, we had the feast of the Mother of God, and after the liturgy, I said, look, in Orthodoxy, all you hear about is humility, because it's necessary. Without humility, we are possessed by our pride through all the different passions. Okay? And we won't have spiritual freedom until we come to an understanding of who we are and who God is. That we are nothing before God. Like that woman who was prepared to acknowledge that she's like one of the dogs. Okay? We're worse than that. Alright? But it's not about, God doesn't need it. God doesn't need us to grovel before Him. It's not about groveling. It's about understanding the reality. And because if we don't understand it, we're going to torment ourselves and torment people around us. Amen.